That right there, 5 seconds of gameplay, has more moving parts than it looks. Screen shake, squash and stretch, particles, coyote time, jump buffering, a bouncy mushroom that gives extra height. I built every single one of those from scratch in Godot 4.5, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how. This is Hollow Knight, one of the best indie games ever made, and this move right here, this downward slash that bounces you back up, is one of the reasons why. The game never tells you this exists, you have it from the very first minute. Most players discover it completely by accident. What's happening is simple. You're in the air, you hold down, you press attack, and if you hit an enemy or a spike below you, you bounce straight back up. One input, but watch what it actually does. First, traversal. Spikes that would kill you become platforms. You can cross grabs that should be impossible. Second, combat. Bounce on an enemy repeatedly and they can't touch you. You're above their attack range, hitting them over and over. It's basically a free stun lock. And third, skill expression. A beginner uses this once, maybe twice by accident. An expert chains 20 in a row through the hardest section in the entire game. Same input, completely different ceiling. That's what makes it brilliant, and that's what I'm stealing today. Let's build this. I'm not going to start with the polished version, I'm going to start with the dumbest version possible, just to get the mechanic existing. We'll make it feel good later. Here's my player scene. Character body 2D, animated sprite 2D, a Pogo hitbox 2D area, sitting right at the player's feet. Basic platformer setup, gravity, movement, jump, nothing special. The Pogo logic is 3 things. 1. Detect the input. If I'm in the air and I press attack, open the hitbox for 1 millisecond. Number 2. Count the window down. When time runs out, close the hitbox. 3. When the hitbox touches anything in the bounceable group, slam the vertical velocity upward. That's it. That's the whole mechanic. Let me run it. It works. I can cross the spikes, I can bounce on the enemies, but feel that? Nothing. There's no weight, no impact. It's like pressing a button on a calculator. The mechanic exists, but it doesn't feel like anything. And this is the trap most developers fall into. You get the logic working and you ship it. But Hollow Knight doesn't just work, it feels incredible. So let's fix that. I'm going to add just one layer at a time, and I want you to watch what each layer does to the feeling of the mechanic. Not the code, the feeling. First, the input is wrong. Right now, any airborne attack triggers the Pogo. Jump and accidentally press attack, Pogo. That's not intentional, that's a bug. Hollow Knight requires you to hold down and attack. You commit to the downward motion. It's a deliberate choice, not an accident, so I add one condition. Now the Pogo only fires when you mean it. Hold down, press attack in the air, 3 conditions, all intentional. Already it feels more like a mechanic and less like an accident. Second, the animations are fighting each other. In the dumb version, every frame of physics process is calling player place somewhere. Jump fires once, then immediately gets overridden by idle on the very next frame. You never actually see the jump animation play. The fix is one function at the bottom, that is the only place that decides what animation plays. Priority order, top to bottom. Attacking overrides everything. Airborne overrides ground. Moving overrides idle. One function, one place, clear priority. The animation's glitching is gone. Now the choose starts. This is the moment I want you to pay attention to. I'm adding 3 lines of code. Watch what it does to the mechanic. The camera moves down 5 pixels, then up 3 pixels, then back to 0. Total time 11 milliseconds. Let me run it. You felt that? The screen moved 5 pixels for a tenth of a second, and it completely changes how the bounce feels. This is what game feel actually is. It's linked to the player's senses in ways that make the game feel more physical than it actually is. The camera moved. Your brain said something hit. That's the whole trick. Now the player's body needs weight. Squash and stretch is a principle from 1930s Disney animation. When something hits something hard, it compresses, then it launches and stretches, then it settles back. 3 keyframes. Wide and flat, absorbing the impact. Tall and thin, launching upward. Back to normal, settled. Zero gameplay effect, pure communication. Now the player has weight, you can see the impact in the body. Same mechanics, same velocity number, completely different feeling. Last layer. Right now when the Pogo fires, your eyes know something happened. The shake told you, the squash told you, but your eyes don't know exactly where it happened. The particles fix that. They spawn on the player's feet, the exact point of contact. And they tell your brain precisely where and when the hit landed. One line, the GPU particles 2D node does everything else. One shot, high explosiveness, 25 millisecond lifetime. It just needs to be told when to fire. And that's the clean juice stack. Screen shake, squash and stretch, particles, none of this is gameplay. All of it is communication. Every layer is telling the player something their eyes couldn't see in the code. This is the difference between a mechanic that works and a mechanic that feels good. Last thing, the bounce height. In the dump version, the Pogo velocity was identical to the jump velocity, minus 420. Technically correct, feels wrong. A Pogo that bounces exactly as high as a jump feels like a free jump. You're not paying anything to use it. I dropped it to minus 380. 40 pixels lower than a full jump. You can barely measure it, but now the Pogo feels like a consequence, a bounce, not a jump. A small cost that makes the mechanic feel like it belongs to its own system. So here's the final version. On top of everything we just built, I added 2 more things that have nothing to do with the Pogo but make the whole platformer feel right underneath it. You are already familiar with these two, coyote time and jump buffering. We did this when we were recreating the jump mechanic from Celeste. So let's see what it looks like to have the finished Pogo jumping mechanic in your game. As you can see, the code is simple. Y velocity equals minus 380, an area to the open for 1 millisecond, a group check. The mechanic that felt like a calculator button and the mechanic that feels like Hollow Knight are the exact same logic. The difference is entirely in the feedback, the shake, the squash, the particles, maybe in the future the sound. None of it is gameplay, all of it is feel. That's what Hollow Knight understood, and that's what I stole. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please let me in the comments what mechanic should we recreate next. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you all.